Now are we back? Spanky, how you doing? Mark's back. Jack's back. Drew, Spanky, solid. I don't know what happened there. Can everyone see me? Is this a better stream than the last one? Poor internet. What's it looking like now? Is it still spluttering? Bernie, how you doing? What was the last thing you saw before it went? You like putting wood in my... I love putting wood in my mouth, Park. Absolutely love it. All your streams are good. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Mark. Allen keys. Oh, was that the last thing? So you didn't see me wooden hammer then? It was the old Allen keys. Mr. Allen keys. I don't know what bloody happened. Anyway, so yeah, that's the stuff I'm going to be giving away. We've got gloves, we've got hats, we've got Allen keys, we've got stickers. These stickers that Thomas sent me. And no hammer. Well, here's me hammer. Me Facom hammer. Say that when you're drunk 5 times really fast. And it's just, yeah, it won't damage anything with the stuff that's on the end. Oh, well, that's good. I don't know what happened. So will this work for you, Mark? Will it work for what you need to do? I must start looking at the other functions on it, because I'm only using half the functions at the minute, but I tell you, it's bloody good. You'd like Thomas's sticker. So which one do you mean? Where is it? You mean this one? Thomas. Load Pro. I've contacted Dan, and he never got back to me about his Load Pro, and I contacted him loads of times. So I can't get one, so that's why I wanted to contact him, but he wouldn't get back to me. Don't know why. Oh, do you want to see a Thor hammer? I'll show you something, Spanky. Daz, who are you saying bastard to, Daz? Me. Look at that. There you go, Spanky. A hammer called Thor. There we go. Thor. That is the best name for a hammer ever. I shouldn't really put it there. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, I'm just playing with my wood. There we go, look. Me shaft the wood. Yeah, Thor, when I saw that, I needed this one anyway, but when I saw the name, I just had to buy it. This one actually is a copper, and so it's copper in there, and that's actually leather. So copper and leather. Yes, Dan, we're back. We're back. So I don't know, yeah, any questions anyone wants to ask me? Because that's all I've really got to show. There's nothing else. I need to get a PO box number because people want to send me stuff, but I've got no PO box number. And the problem is trying to get a PO box number in Ireland's like 400 quid a year. So, yeah, it's a lot of money. Oh, that's it, Finn. Yeah, what tools have you got already? That sounds like a you problem, Dan. No, no one's won yet. I haven't given anything away yet. I'm just showing people what I am giving away. I'll be doing a separate video on the giveaway because I have Sean then pick out the hat and we'll do it live. What's your favorite thing about being a mechanic? Well, it isn't deal with fucking customers, I can tell you that much. Because I had some, yeah, I had a bad customer again today. What's to do? There's nothing. I'm not rich, Mark. I'm far from it. I'm absolutely far from it. What I suggest you do, Finn, because to try and buy, you know, tools off the tool truck is bloody expensive. And, you know, yes, but I know people say don't go to the tool truck and buy tools, and there is some kind of truth to that, but there's also, you need to build up a relationship with your tool guy because, you know, when you buy stuff, if it breaks, you can send it back and he gets it repaired for you, and there's all that, and it makes life a lot easier. But yes, you don't go crazy on the tool truck, but it's good to get, you know, it's good to get a rapport with the tool truck guy. The Snap-on tool truck guys, what people I don't think actually realize is they go on special courses and they try and become your friend, even though they're not your friend. They'll make out they are your friend by calling you like mate and stuff like that, and it kind of gets you to buy stuff. So be aware of that as well. But what I would suggest you do is if you go online, like on the likes of eBay and stuff, you can buy some really good quality tools secondhand at a third of the price you would pay. So that's what I would suggest you do. Secondhand tools, you know, things like ratchets and stuff like that, you can't really go wrong. Electrical tools, maybe not, but things like ratchets, spanners and stuff, you can't really go wrong. I've still got, you can't quite see, but I've got a set behind me here, and it's a 52-piece set of spanners, and it's Rolson, and it was like 40 euros, and I've had them for years and years, and they are kind of the cheapest you're going to get, and I've had them for years. So that's what I would suggest. eBay, good quality tools on eBay, and yeah, you won't be long in building up your stuff. Yes, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I had a tricky customer today, and yeah, just wouldn't believe anything I said. But anyway, there you go. They have pawn shops over here, right? Yeah, that's another good thing. They do have pawn shops over here as well, and you can buy some good tools. Well, I don't know. I know it's quite big in America. There is places here, but they don't send tools much. They send like PlayStations and tellies and phones and stuff. But I'm sure in the UK there is some. So that's a good idea. That's Spanky. Until you work with the public, you don't know how stupid some people. Yes, I agree with you there too. Yeah, they do and they don't. Some Snap-on stuff does say, you know, you can't sell it onto someone and get a guarantee. But this is where I'm saying if you have a good, if you're good in with the tool truck guy and you buy stuff off him, he will then, if you buy something secondhand, he will then help you out with it and stuff. That's why I'm saying it's a good idea to get, you know, personal with the tool truck guy as well, because they can help you out. You know, a lot. So it's kind of good to do to both sides. I've got Mark 7 for Fiesta U205 codes. I'd have to check that out. What's the code actually saying? What's it say after the actual? Is it giving you any more information? And what did you scan it with? Thank you. Personal heroes. I'm nothing special, mate. Just a normal person, believe me. And when I get to go, I don't know. Yeah, you're welcome anytime, mate. Come over anytime you want. Car boots, yeah, car boots, stuff like that. I mean, you don't just have to buy Snap-on. You know, there's loads of tool companies out there which are cheaper than Snap-on and still have lifetime guarantee. I like Facom stuff. Now, Facom stuff does tend to be quite expensive, like Snap-on. But you've got Signet, you've got Expert, which was Brick Tool. I can't even think of some of the names now. My head's just gone blank. But there's loads of different tools out there you can buy with lifetime guarantee. Yes, Halford Advance as well. That's got lifetime guarantee. Now, I know the Halford's Advance ratchets aren't particularly great. They don't seem to have kind of a high teeth count, but the sockets and stuff like that from Halford's, the spanners, if they've got lifetime guarantee, you cannot go wrong. So that's actually another good thing. Thanks for that, Carp, is, you know, get a Halford Advance set, Finn, but buy different ratchets. So buy, you know, Facom, Snap-on, Signet, you know, Brick Tool or Expert, anything kind of along them lines. Just upgrade the ratchet, and the sockets and the spanners won't let you down. So that's good. That's a good one, actually. Yeah, you're lucky, Lee, because Mark Solid Diagnostics, which is in here, he basically works on faults all day long. So if anyone's going to know, Mark's your man. Draper Expert, I've got some Draper Expert ratchets. They're in there. There's stuff on it at the minute. Jim, how you doing? Jim, the car guy. How you doing? What's the time over there, Jim? Yeah, Solid Diagnostics, Lee. That's the guy who works on Fords, and he really knows his stuff. Let's see if I can get some of these ratchets out. Probably dumping all my crap on here. Typical, I don't. They're in the box behind the sign. But as you can see, there's all different types of ratchets. Now, again, these might look kind of funny, but believe me, they do come in handy. This is a Spikes Pickavant one. This is a Facom one. And this one's a Facom one. And this one's a Facom one. But what I would suggest also, Finn, if you are getting a ratchet, like this 3/8 ratchet, for example, I would get one with a flexible head and get one that's slightly longer than the normal one. Because if you just get a solid one, which if you just get a solid one, you'll pay for a solid one, then you might find you need a flex head one. So if you buy a flex head one, it essentially can do both. It can obviously stay upright, but it also can flex. So that's kind of a 2-in-1 ratchet. So I would suggest going for a flexi head ratchet over a standard one at first. Now, don't get me wrong, the straight ones do come in handy, but this one will do more than this one. So buy one of them as well. And that, you know, a good 3/8 ratchet like this is a Facom one. This will last you forever. It's a really high teeth count. You can hear that. And yeah. What have I missed now? Let's talk about Jeeps. What do you want to talk about Jeeps? Let's talk about Jeeps. Let's talk about Jeeps, baby. Let's talk about you. All Halford sockets after 25 years. Nothing has broken. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tony. Your Halford sockets, you know, no problem at all. I just don't. From what I've seen, the ratchets don't. I know the ratchets are lifetime guaranteed, but they're not as fine. You want a fine ratchet because when you're in a tight space, having that fine ratchet, believe me, it makes your life so much easier. When are you getting back into? And they're all filmed, Jim, and they're all uploaded. I'm just spacing them out, so they're all done, ready to go. Facom is the one. Yeah, I love Facom stuff, I must admit. Wilson tools aren't bad for the budget. Again, it's all depending on what your budget is exactly. You know, if someone doesn't use a ratchet every day of the week, then you can buy a really cheap ratchet. You're never going to have an issue with it. You know, but if you use it every day and you put a lot of pressure on it, then you do really want to go for a slightly better one. But like I said, the ones with the flex head can do more than this one, and you know that there's not a lot you can't do with that one. Do you have a toolbox tool? Yeah. Beta box is nice, yeah. My toolbox tour is coming soon. I did one on my new tool cart, which is just down there. Where's my camera? Remote. See if I can move the old. Can we see? Can we see? Can we see? Ah, look. There we go. I did a tool review on that, or tool tour, not tool review. Tour. So yeah. Is the Vectra done already? Which Vectra? Are you talking to me, Dan? Which Vectra? Big straight ratchets are a pain in the ass. Wheel arches you're trying to. Yeah, exactly, Chris. You know, now this one is great, don't get me wrong. It's 17.5 inches long. It is good for certain jobs, but the old flex heads ratchets are not covered with Halford. Oh, I didn't know that. So even Halford's expert ratchets aren't covered. 10 spanner set is good price and good quality and no problems. Yeah, also, is he saying lazy bastard because I moved the camera with a remote control? If you got it, why not use it, eh? Yeah, I completely forgot what I was saying. Oh, Ting Tool, yeah. But also, I've noticed some of the Facom spanner sets are really cheap. Do you know also who has some really cheap spanner sets? Laser. Laser has some cheap spanner sets. And again, lifetime guarantee. Bye, Leon and everyone. Going to test drive a BMW M1, possibly ABS into problem. See you later, Car Expos. I thought he was actually going to go and buy a BMW. I was about to say, no, don't buy a bloody BMW M1. I wouldn't mind them coming to the garage, but I wouldn't buy one. Have you tried to get any? No, I haven't tried to get any gearless ones. It's something I've been looking at, but just haven't. Every time I do, I forget. Buying a cheap ratchet will definitely hurt your knuckles. That's a fact. And it's always when I've done it before, and it's always when you get the big long ratchet. You're on a bolt like this because you should never really push it to you. You should always push away from you. And I've done it before where it slipped off, and the first thing that had hands comes straight up to your nose, then the ratchet comes back and smacks you right on the boat. And it's not nice. And that's when a good ratchet is a problem because it hurts more. Head gasket video. I'm lost, Dan. Do you have any spare ratchets? I can certainly get you something sorted, Finn. If you contact me on Facebook, I'm sure I'll be able to do something for you, mate. No problem at all. DJ say, what's your thoughts on using a big chain carriage instead of a... Well, I don't really know, Gita, because I've never taken my car to anyone like that, because I've always done it myself. So I wouldn't know. I've heard, it's like everything. I've heard stories about the big chains, but then I've heard stories about backstreet garages like mine, and I've heard stories about, main dealers. You hear stories about everybody. And half the problem is, like I was dealing with a customer today, it's miscommunication. The customer gets it wrong, goes down the road and says, "Oh yeah," and they just don't know what they're talking about, and everyone gets confused. So I don't really know. I can't really say. The problem is, you can go to a big chain garage, you can go to a backstreet garage like mine, or a main dealer, and you can have the best experience in the world, all of them, or you can have the worst experience. It all depends on the guy that's there. Not so much the garage. It depends on the guy that's working on your car. And it also depends, if he's having a good or bad day. That's like everybody. Lifetime's guarantee on laser tools. Yes, Dan, there is. Yeah, I've heard that too, DJ. But like I said, I don't. It just depends. I've heard that about everyone. I've heard that about main dealers. I've heard that about backstreet garages. Because technically, I class me as a backstreet garage because I'm not a main dealer. So essentially, I'm just a backstreet garage. And I've heard it about everyone. So Cheers, Liam. No problem, Finn. Amazon have the Facom spanner set for 74 quid. All the just locked. Yeah, they are good. The Vauxhall /Oval, is it fixed? That was fixed a long time ago, Dan. I even just put the videos up now. That's gone. That's gone about 4 or 5 weeks. But is it back? That's the thing. Is it back? Thoughts on EDT machine, Matt? Well, that's kind of a tricky one because I had one and I don't have one anymore. So yeah, they took it off me because I wasn't doing enough numbers for them. They didn't give me enough chance, if you ask me. But anyway, so yeah, that's another story for another day. Had a customer telling me his friend clutch. This is the problem. Random question for you. What do you think of waterless coolant? What do you mean by that? What's the best? What's the best? What? Am I missing stuff here? No worries. Fair play. Big fan of your video. No problem, DJ. See you later. My phone is about to die. It's bleeping in my pockets. And yeah, anytime now. What am I missing? Missing stuff on eBay. Where are we looking? Yeah, that's it. Word of mouth. Word of mouth is key. But like I said, I was having kind of a bit of a Barney Rubble with a customer today, and just got wires crossed, and he went off, pissed off, but he got his wires crossed. So his word of mouth for me isn't going to be very, or his word of mouth about me isn't going to be very good to people. So, how much money do you need to have stuff? Well, it all depends where you are, Matt. To start a garage is ridiculously expensive if you've got nothing to start with. I've only got one lift. That's all I've got. My garage is very small. Yes, there's times I could do with 2 lifts, but it's just space and money. You can spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on tools. And the problem is, if you have a garage and you don't have the right equipment, and someone comes in, even for a bit, like let's say someone comes in and they want to change your brake pads on like the newer Audis and stuff. That's a simple job But if you don't have the scan tool to retract your brake pads, and then what some of them even needs measuring and you have to put it into your scan tool, if you don't have that capability, you can't do a simple job like that. Then people get annoyed. We can't even fucking do my brakes, it's no good. They don't realize it costs thousands of pounds to get that scan tool. So that's the problem. And that's the problem we're all dealing with. You know, every time a new car comes out, the new scan tools for it are thousands upon thousands, and people don't realize. So when they say, you know, well, I got my brakes done on my car, you know, 10 years ago for 50 euros. Yeah, well, that was 10 years ago. It's going to cost you that now just to plug the computer in. So it's going to cost a lot. And like I said, if you don't have the right tools, people are just going to walk away from you because they think you know good, and they don't realize you just don't have the money to buy the new equipment. And Darren, yeah, it's back. What's back with EVAP? Worth the money? Oh, what's worth the money? Am I missing something again? Worth the money, question mark. What's worth the money? Any bad views? You'll have to, can I weld? Yes, I can weld. Oh, the Astra. Oh, sorry, yes, miles away. I've had no experience with the water coolant, so I don't know. I've heard about it, but I've had no experience with it, so I can't really say. All I do is I look up when the car is in what coolant it needs. If I don't have it, I'll order the coolant and put it in, and that's what I just go on what the book says, because with modern cars and stuff, you know, you put the wrong coolant in, you can fuck up a head gasket very, very quickly. Sorry, my back. What do you make of Nissan Qashqais? I personally don't like Nissans. I wouldn't buy one. I know Dan drives one, and Dan drives a Qashqai. Don't ask me why. Is he still in? I hope he's still in. Are you still in, Dan? And yeah, he drives a Qashqai. I don't like them. They're just rust buckets. Over here, anyway, I can only go off over here. They rust. I've had Nissan Notes that are 16 months old, and the sumps have got holes in them because they're rusty. In 16 months. Now, in Ireland, in some parts of America, that might be all right. In the Salt Belt, where, you know, Eric and all that live, and they have massive amounts of salt. We don't have massive amounts of salt in Ireland. And for them to go rusty that quickly, no. But having said that, I love people buying Nissans because I'll never be out of work. Oh, he's still listening. You're still listening, Dan. How's your Qashqai going? Loving the T-shirt. Yeah, the old T-shirt that's faded. Audi Volkswagens. What's that? I missed something again. I'm going to put that down because it's just going to be annoying people with that rattling. Great. Just one word answers. What's up with you, Dan? Yeah, the water tension in water. People don't realize water tension in water can cause problems. Just because it's water doesn't mean it's great in that sense. And you can, now I don't know if you can get it anymore. This sounds bullshit, but it's true, people. For old classic cars that had problems overheating, you used to be able to buy this stuff. And I know it sounds wrong. Google it if you don't believe me. It's called water wetter. So in other words, it makes water wetter. And you think, well, how can you make water wetter? It doesn't. It breaks down the surface tension of the water, which then allows it to flow through. So the waterless coolant should basically have no, you know, water tension. But I can see the theory behind it. And the water wetter used to work on the older cars, but I don't think you can get it anymore. And every time I say it to people, they just think I'm taking the piss. Oh, Dan, did you find out the price of the exhaust for the Tesla yet? Just curious to know. Distilled water, yes. I would love a window or bumper sticker. Yeah, Colin, I will be getting stickers out shortly. Yes, Tesla exhaust. Tesla exhaust. I think they're quite expensive. No, in Tesla, they are quite expensive. And has anyone priced up a alternator for a... what you should do tomorrow, that will depend on where you are in the world, ring up your local Toyota garage, if you know, because in some parts of the world it still might be open, and ask them and price up for a generation 1, price up an alternator for one, and just see how much they are. You'll be very surprised. Oh, you can still buy it. When I say that to people over here, they think I'm messing. There's no such thing, because how can you make water wetter? Well, yeah. It sounds like a fake product, but I think it sounds so bad like a fake product, it can't be fake. Haven't found it yet. You'll find one, Dan. You'll find one. Oh, I did get these. These are pretty cool. Are you ready? They're going to go on my new toolbox. Petrol in a diesel engine. Can you get away with it? Well, yeah, you can. Just suck it out. With some of the new injector, all depends on your car, what model of car it is. But some of the new modern cars do not like it, so just suck it out straight away. Don't drive it. Don't risk it. Also, as much as easy. Yeah, they are quite expensive, aren't they, Simon? Has anyone actually rang up? Is anybody watching at the minute where there is a Toyota garage open in the world? Anyone in America where there's a Toyota garage open, by any chance? It's going to fall out, this. Anyway, I'll show you these two cool little things I'm going to put on my new toolbox. They don't particularly do anything, they just look cool. So we have, look at that. See that? How cool is that, people? How cool is that? Let's get on my new toolbox. Yeah, how much to replace a starter motor to Toyota price? A lot. A lot. Have you priced them up? It's twice as much to buy it. Sorry, it's twice as much to fit it as it is to buy it. Too late here. Yes, one in Liverpool. Yeah, but it's not open now. Is there anyone watching in the world where there is a Toyota dealer open now? So, right size for my hamster, yeah. How cool is that? See that, people? And this is another cool little thing. Is there anyone in America watching at the minute? I don't know what time it is in America. You ready? I really like that. This is cool. This is cool. I like this. But this next thing I'm going to show you is really cool because it actually works. Are you ready? Boom! Look at that. How cool is that, people? Can you see that? Fully adjustable at the side. So as you can see, I can actually adjust this here. But not only that, if we screw in the screw at the side, what we can actually do, you ready? If I get my hand, if I pump that up, look at that. It pops up. How cool is that? And if you release it like you would a normal one, it will then go back down. How cool is that? Fully adjustable wheels. Isn't that awesome, people? Ah, I love it. Love it. How did I get started in my business? Well, it was quite simple. I was always working for someone else. And over a period of time, I just got in loads more tools. As you do, you just collect tools on the way. But what I tended to do is I just didn't collect the normal tools. I, got a compressor, and I got other big things that you wouldn't necessarily need if you work in a place. If you work in a place, you don't really need to bring your own compressor because there's always a compressor there. You don't need to bring your own welder and stuff. So I kind of got a lot of big things since I was maybe 12. Because I think I was around 12 when I first kind of started collecting tools. I was on a motorbike at 5. We grew up on motorbikes and stuff, so I've always been around engines, always loved engines. And around about 12-ish, I started kind of working on cars, collecting tools. I've made my own ratchets, my own sockets and stuff like that. Well, not so much sockets, but T-bar ratchets and stuff like that, because I couldn't afford them at the time. I bought a load of old minis. At one stage, when I was 14, I think I had 6 minis. And I essentially just stripped them down, made settees out of some, or I made settee out of one and cut the top off, cut it in half and made a settee out of one, and just messed around with them and got used to working on engines, basically self-taught. And then, when I was old enough, doing the courses, doing everything I needed to do, got into work, building up my tool collection. And essentially, when everything went tits up here in Ireland, when the bubble burst, the work was crazy. You just wasn't getting enough money. It wasn't warranting me getting up in the morning, spending an hour traveling to work and an hour traveling back for the few quid I was getting. I might as well have signed on. I've got more money signing on. So I just decided, right, I've got one or two options. I either work for someone and essentially, work five days a week and get nothing for it and kill myself, or I just go on my own and try it. So I essentially got a loan for the big stuff like the lifts, the tire machines and stuff like that. That's all I really needed. And I was 20. I was 22 when I started, 24 maybe, 24 when I started my own place. And just, learned on the job then, started doing courses, all that crap, all the usual stuff. And then, so that was it really. That's how I got started. And all I can suggest for beginners and stuff, you've got to love this. If you don't like doing it, don't do it. Because especially now, 10 years ago, you could get away with hardly anything. Now the tools you need is unbelievable. You're getting into it now at kind of the stage where it's really going to electronics more so than engines. And you really, really need to learn, electronics. And if you don't want to sit there, even after you finish work, I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm doing courses, I'm reading books and all the new stuff that's coming along. Like I've done all my courses for the electric vehicles, even though I'm not getting any particular electric vehicles at the minute, but I've done all the courses. So when they come down to me, I'm going to be able to do it. I'm collecting the tools for it and all that sort of stuff. It really is, you have to work at it and you're constantly learning. If you just think you're going to come into this business, buy some few ratchets and stuff and make a killing, it's just not for you. It's just not for you. Do something else. How did you learn about electrical diagrams and all the stuff like, God damn it just makes no sense to me. Do you mean wiring diagrams don't make any sense to you? Is that what you mean, Chris? Or you mean it doesn't make sense that I can do it? You have to have a long paper around them, yeah. What's the worst I've ever done apart from the wheel nut? My voice is going. What the hell's all that about? Oh, there's loads of jobs. There's just jobs where you start it, you think it's going to be easy. And it's like the wheel nut, for example. You know, that should be like a 10-minute job. It's them jobs you think are going to be easy. You lean over something, you break a pipe, you can't get that pipe for a couple of days. You can't. It's them type of jobs. There's loads of them, and we all experience it. You just have one of them days sometimes, but normally it's one of them weeks. Everything you touch breaks. Sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's not. It's either the person that's been there before, or it's plastic that's just got horrible and crap, and it's just going to go. Yeah, there's loads of jobs. I can't really think, but it's normally the simple jobs that get bad. LM Auto's here. Now, I did in the beginning. I gave you a shout out, Lucas. Here you go. Look, here's your stickers. You can see him. Actually, what I need to do is I need to give him a blue wrench. There you go. Boom, you're now blue, like your stickers. What happened to Rob from One Auto? I actually explained this day at the beginning of the video. Rob, like I said, I might as well just come truthful, because everyone's asking me about Rob. And it's just, yeah, I'm just going to come out with it. Essentially, what's happened is he's gone, he's moved to Thailand, and he's now called Vanessa. That's what's happened. So he doesn't want anything to do with cars anymore. He's living in Thailand. He's getting some stuff sorted out in Thailand, some stuff removed, some stuff added. And yeah, he's called himself Vanessa. So that's what's happened to Rob. So you might see him. Well, you might not recognize him. You won't recognize him, but you might see him shortly. That's what's happened to Rob. Where is... Yeah, that's the fact. We do all learn every day. Again, working on nights. What's the odds? Anything to do with use diff oil? That's a crap. Yeah, diff oil with the sulfur in it can stink. Absolutely, absolutely. The best one I've seen. What's the best one you've seen? Am I missing the classic Citroen brake job video? Oh yeah, that was again. It's always the jobs where there's certain jobs I don't take on a Saturday, because I know if the parts come wrong or if anything comes wrong, if I get something on a Saturday, I can't order parts for the following Tuesday. So I won't take certain jobs on a Saturday because people need the car over the weekend. And if just so people know, I'm just looking. I've got two screens here, and the camera's in the middle, so I'm not particularly looking at the camera, but I'm looking at the chat. So yeah, I don't take certain jobs on a Saturday just because it can cause a nightmare. When a vehicle's stuck on my lift, it's stuck on my lift, and I can't do anything else, so it's a nightmare for me. You don't have a lot of stickers, Keith. Poor Rob. No, it's not poor Rob. He's enjoying himself now. Rob is you taking the piss out. No, I'm not. That's actually true. That's gospel truth. That's why he shut up. Gone to Thailand. You're on the way. I'm not. He's gone to Thailand. Are you sure? I don't know. Have I missed something? How much are your stickers? You're talking to me, Colin, or someone else? I keep missing stuff. What happened to the old Merc? You've done a video on about which needs a shed load of work. Do you mean the W123, the silver estate car? Is that what you mean, Nick? Take the... Didn't take the... The joys. All right, mate. How you doing, man? This an employee in the building. Oh, how you doing? Someone that works on this side. You must be busy. Can you tell me why Nissan sumps, especially on the Nissan Notes, are rusting like within 16 months? Driver, driveway DIY. Can you tell me that? Have you seen that? Because I've seen that on loads of them. And it's not under warranty. I must have seen 5 or 6, and every time I've sent them back to Nissan, Nissan haven't covered it under warranty. And we're talking cars. The oldest one was 3 years old, and the newest one was 16 months, I think. I don't know the price of my stickers yet because I haven't really got them properly done. I've just got this one made up, which is a number plate, and I've got a couple of little ones, but I haven't got any prices or anything at the minute. The battery is going to die. That's a thought. So you can make change now. So you can make money changing them. My phone is ringing. So we answer it. I have to ring them back. Be very professional. Nissans don't rust, they melt. Oh no, they rust and melt. Renault parts. What's that? Or is it that they use Renault parts, is it? Hey darling, you're on live stream. Say hello to everybody. All right. Who's Vanessa? No, it's not Vanessa, it's Linda calling. What's up? Are you going to talk? Or you just... Who's Vanessa? Hello? Yeah, there's a delay. I can hear myself talking through the delay through the phone, which is really... Huh? Hello? Yeah, I can't hear you. Hello? I want to get... hello? 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 You're going to speak to me? Hi, you can see me. Okay. Who's there with you? Hello to everyone. I can't say the place because I don't want anyone to know, but hello everybody who's listening to me, who is listening to me on the phone. Hello, Christy. You'll hear that in a few minutes now. She's going to find this. Oh yeah, Vanessa. I know I look amazing. I know I look amazing. I know that. Okay. Love you too. Bye. Who is Vanessa? No, Vanessa is Rob. Rob has moved to Thailand, and he's called himself Vanessa because things are cheaper in Thailand. So that's where Rob's gone. So you might see him shortly. Slightly different, but you might see him. So yeah. Any more questions, people, before I go? Where's the Nissan tech in? Where's he gone? Have you seen a picture of him yet, Keith? I want to get a set of LEDs. How are you getting? My LED lights are going unbelievable. I've got a new set here as well, which I showed in the beginning. I've had no problems with them. They're unbelievably bright. Yeah, I've had no problems. Apart from people thinking your full beam lights are on and they keep flashing, which is pretty annoying. But as soon as you bang on the full beams, it soon shuts them up, which is bloody funny. Where are we? So yeah, LED lights, love them. Fiat's had the same problem. They have really bad issues with sumps rusting to the point where there are holes. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I saw the picture of him. What make is your new tool? Mine's only a kind of a cheap generic toolbox. It is a Cobra. It's not like a big fancy Snap-on one or anything like that, Finn. So it's nothing special. I can't afford a big £15,000 Snap-on toolbox. It's as simple as that. Unless Snap-on, you want to send me one, sorted. But yeah, Delphi, good. Yeah, the Delphi system is good, cheap. What cordless impact would you recommend? Well, I can only go off the ones I've used. So I can't recommend. Oh, it's not here. It's in the bloody car. My 1/2 inch is Facom. And I know Milwaukee and that, but I can't say about Milwaukee because I haven't used the Milwaukee one. Milwaukee one I think is cheaper than the Facom one, but at the time when I bought my Facom one, it's a lot more powerful than the Milwaukee one. My Facom one is 1625 newtons, and the Milwaukee one was 1450, I believe, at the time. So I went for the Facom one because it was more powerful, but it is more expensive, and it essentially is made by DeWalt. And then I do have some DeWalt ones down there as well, but they're like what we're looking, see if I can get these out. DeWalt nut driver, which is really good. That is good. And then I have the DeWalt 10.5 or 10.8 volt 3/8. Now, this is only 130 newtons, and it does need to be a bit more powerful. I think Facom do one that's 200. When I get my hands on that, I think Milwaukee are doing a newer one, which is Bluetooth, and you can control it through your phone. And you can actually lock it where if your phone isn't connected to it, it won't work. So that looks really cool, but I don't know. I see what's more like. Oh, I missed that comment. Cool. Check out stickers. I've got Xenons. I had Xenons, and I never liked Xenons. They were crap. Nice new video, Keith. Quick, nothing. I haven't seen it yet, Keith. Let's start. Funding to help the on buy Snap-on toolbox. Yeah, fire away. I don't know how long it's going to take to get to like 15,000. Well, the one I really want from Snap-on was 25 grand. I won't be greedy. I just take 2 of them, you know. So yeah, pure crap. What's pure crap, Keith? Oh, many people interested in. Yeah, I've got a good few people interested in the diet course. I am going to be doing a video on it shortly, kind of explaining a bit more about it, but there's a lot of good interest. I had one fucking muppet who kept saying, you need to have this, and blah, 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 and he was just being an absolute moron. So yeah, you're always going to get some morons. This is the internet after all. Terry, how you doing? Oh, Terry, we need to make you blue. There we go, Terry, you're now blue. Boom! Best size test lamp for testing. I found that I've got, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 test lights, and they're all slightly different voltages, but your normal test lights for that will be fine. I'm experimenting with one to get a big higher draw on it, but if you are worried, you can always use a like an indicator bulb or something like that. You can make one up very, very simple to get yourself a bigger draw if you want there, Simon. I am actually doing a video. I don't know when it's coming up, but it will be coming up because I am doing, where is it? Get the old test lights out. This one, this is a test light from Mac, but as you can see, there's actually, can you see that? There's 2 bulbs in there, people. 2 bulbs. So I'm doing something I think is kind of cool with it. I don't know if it's going to work properly, but I will be doing a video on all that and stuff like that. But yeah, so you can do that. Brilliant teacher right there. What was that, Keith? Brilliant teacher right there. I must have missed that. Makita better than DeWalt. Again, I can't say to him because I haven't used Makita. That's the problem. I can't say this is better or worse than another brand because I haven't compared it to another brand. I've only used the DeWalt. I've used the Facom one, so I can't compare it. The Milwaukee do one of these, but it's a 12-volt battery, and this is only 10.8. So again, you can't really compare the two. But I don't have the Milwaukee one. Got one of them DeWalts, and yes, it's lacks one. Yeah, it really does. I just prefer it to be a bit more powerful, but the Facom do exactly the same. It's a bit bigger. It's 10.8 volts as well, and it's supposed to be 200 foot-pounds of torque, which is 70 more than this, which is a lot. So that looks interesting. Again, trying to get my hand on them, but they're just bloody expensive, and I can't just keep buying them because I don't have the bloody money. The video I made, pure crap. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it yet. I'll tell you later, Keith. Chinese company that makes a DeWalt ratchet is now selling them without the logo. Sealy sells them. Yeah, a lot of tool companies are doing that, Dan. It's hard to know. Just because you buy a Facom or Snap-on or something, what are you actually buying? You know, you just don't know anymore. You're just paying for the name sometimes. But if this is lifetime's guarantee compared to another one, then I personally go for the lifetime's guarantee just because I know if I break it, I can just get one replaced. It doesn't cost me. I only have to buy it once. But you pay more for it. It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. I just watched your video a while ago, Keith. I thought it was very good. I bet it is good. I'll tell you the truth, Keith. Don't worry. This is live now. Is this live now, please? It is live, Mark. Grab 4 clutch tomorrow. The joys. Give me a shout out, please. Hold on. I've not had the best Sunday. Mark Berry, how you doing? Hopefully you have a better day tomorrow. I had one of them days again too, so yeah, believe me. It's not good. The joys of working on cars and dealing with customers and all that good stuff. So any more questions before I go? Get something to eat. What's the time? Because I'm bloody Hank Marvin. You know what Hank Marvin is, Keith? Oh. Greetings from sunny California. Well, greetings from rainy old Ireland. Is there anybody watching yet that has an Opel dealer, that has a Toyota dealer open? Again, Dave, I can't really say because I haven't used them, so I don't know. Well, you know, people ask me, what do you prefer? Or can you compare this to that? You know, when you're talking about especially power tools, you know, especially the big ones, they're ridiculously expensive. I can't afford to buy a DeWalt one, a Facom one, a Milwaukee one to compare them. I just can't afford it. So I don't know. I can only tell you what I've used on mine. This is brilliant, but it's an 18 volt. It's got a lot more punch than this. And what I found to do with this, if you want a 3/8, like I showed in my tool review video or my tool tour video, if I take out this, for example, and I put this in here, this then becomes a 3/8 ratchet, and it's actually more powerful than this. So really, you only need to buy this, and you can put all sorts of stuff in this. You know, you can buy these connections, so you can put 3/8 on, you can put 1/2 inch, you can do all that. You can also put all the, you know, the torque bits and everything in this. This is brilliant. This is the 1/2 inch one. These are both wobbly bars, by the way. So that's really handy. But the problem is sometimes these are too big to get into place. So you need something like this, which you can see the side profile is a hell of a lot smaller. So this will go down an engine bay and get it. But this is Snap-on, stupidly expensive. I like it, but I absolutely 100% hate the way the batteries, to squeeze these two clips in to pull the battery out is an absolute stupid design. Whoever thought of it is an idiot, because it's crap, absolutely crap design. Where these, you press the button, oh look, the battery comes off. How fucking easy is that? Why can't Snap-on do that? But no. Anyway, enough of that. How did you get on with the head job? It was, no, I bearded it to my nose. Yeah, Terry, just one of them jobs. Love your videos. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for shout. No problem. No problem, Tony. Sunny in Northern Ireland at the moment. Yeah, well, it's not actually raining here, but you know it will rain. Cheers and good night. See you later. Something with this. And range is not. What is your preference for disc, screws, drills? Now, this is a good question, Jeff, because it all depends on what you do. Now, this is the thing I really do know an awful lot about because of me rally car behind you. You can't see it, but it's behind me. People think they get grooved and drilled discs, and they just think they're better. Not necessarily. Just think of it this way. If we have, of course I can't see it. I'll have to use this for the minutes. If you imagine all them little holes that you can see in there, as a braking surface, with the holes cut out, you're losing braking surface. So if you drill a load of holes, if you get discs and you drill, well, obviously they come with a load of holes drilled in, you've lost maybe 30–40% of your braking surface, which is a hell of a lot. If you've got little brake discs, say on a Corsa, for example, and you get drilled discs on a Corsa, you're actually going to lose brakes because they're not big enough. Now, if you get big, huge discs, then you can get away with it more. So it all depends on what you want to do. Now, yes, grooved discs and drilled discs, they do dissipate the heat better. So they can let the heat out, they can stop the brake dust blocking everything up, and they can breathe more, granted, but it all depends on what you want to do. Brakes, if you want to get a proper brake kit, it is thousands upon thousands of pounds. The brake kit on my car behind you was expensive, but they're unbelievable. Now, I have full-on racing pads on my car, which, again, this is the compromise you need. If you have full-on racing pads, yes, they're better than normal brake pads, but they don't last as long. They last nowhere near as long, and they squeal. You cannot stop them from squealing. You ever hear a racing car pull up beside you, or not beside you, but when you're on a track or anything, a full-on racing, you'll hear the brakes squeal. There's nothing you can do about it. So when they design them for the road, they design them to stop all the squeal and to stop all that. So it really depends on what you want to do. But don't just go out and buy grooved and drilled discs thinking, oh, because they look cool, they're going to be better. Not necessarily. And if you buy green stuff pads or yellow stuff pads or whatever color pads you buy, also bear in mind they're going to wear quicker, and they'll also wear your discs quicker. So the more racer you go, the more expensive the parts are, and they don't last as long. I hope that helps, even though I didn't really answer your question. But yeah, they're just, yeah. The next Astra video won't be long. Won't be long at all. Nice. To go. See you later, Lucas. Oh, Will's in. Will, how you doing? Didn't see you there. Red stuffed pads. Yeah, I mean, red stuffed pads are good, but just bear in mind that if you put them against a standard brake pad or standard brake disc, they are going to wear the disc quicker. And again, to get proper brake discs, you need a bell. So if you look at the video on my Mark 1 behind me, I've done a video on the brakes. It's actually a 3-piece kit. So it's not just a full brake. It's a bell bolted onto the disc. And what that does two things. One, that dissipates the heat better because the bell is made out of billet alley, which can conduct the heat a lot better and let it out composed to more mild steel. But not only that, the unsprung weight of my brakes compared to a standard brakes is 1,000,000 times better. but they're full-on race brakes. Problem with full-on race brakes, if you put them on a car, this is also you got to bear in mind, if you put them on a normal road car, when they're not heated up, you just go down the road and they're cold, they will not work. You've often heard, if you watch, Formula One racing, any type of racing, they have to build up, heat in their tires, heat in their brakes, because otherwise they don't work. So bear that in mind. When performance brakes are cold, you're actually going to get a lot less braking. So just be aware of that, Jeff. Because people don't realize that. Hi, Mark. Lincolnshire Cockney from Ireland, sorted. That's entirely up to you, Mark. There's loads of ways you can do it. Obviously, leaving a nice comment. That is fantastic. Leaving a nice comment on my videos, that's payment. There's other ways you can do it. There's Patreon, there's Buy Me a Coffee. There's all sorts of stuff you can do if you want to go down that route. But like I said, a nice comment is just as good. Back again. How you doing? Where did you go, Steve? What happened? Again, Brian, I've said this a few times. And we'll say it one more because obviously you didn't hear it. But what's happened to Rob? Everyone keeps asking me, what's happened to Rob? What's happened to Rob? What's happened to Rob? He's closed down. He's closed down. Yes, he's closed down and he's moved to Thailand. And he's been there a while now, but we can't call him Rob anymore. He's changed his name to Vanessa and he's going to be in Thailand for, well, the next couple of years anyway, till he gets everything sorted. Then I think he's coming back. And yeah, coming back as Vanessa. He knows that, what's that guy who's, I can't think of his name, it'll come to me, I'll tell you in a second. I'm here, what did I, oh, you missed loads. DIY, you missed loads. How hard is doing mini timing chain? Have you ever done a timing chain before, Joe? They're not that bad, actually. There's a few ways of doing it. Leave a nasty comment and you'll end up on Oh, yes, Simon, that's true, isn't it? But having said that, my replies are always very good. Don't you agree, Simon? Thanks, Nick. Yeah, stickers are on the way. I've got loads of, well, I haven't got loads of stickers, but that's from Thomas. That's the sticker of me. But I have got stickers coming with my new logo up here, as you can see. Very looking. I'm just waiting for Simon to come back with a comment. Fucking knows, man. I've been using 305 Groove with red stuff pads. Just wondering what your thoughts were. Knew you had experience with it. Yeah, what car are you using them on? And also what, God, it's like I'm pulling I shouldn't be. What calipers are you using? I missed the $1 million. No, I haven't done the giveaway yet. I'm just showing people what I've got to give away. But Jeff, I've got something for you in a second. I'm going to show you what I'm doing to my car because I'm doing a video on my car how to basically upgrade your car kind of properly but cheaply. But properly, that's the key. Properly but cheaply. I'm doing a massive brake conversion on my car. If I was to buy the cheapest brake conversion kit I could find for my car, a non-branded name, was about $2.5 grand. A name I recognized was over $3.5 grand, which I thought, no, I can't afford that. It's my road car. I don't want to put that sort of money on my brakes. So I've actually made a kit. Well, not made a kit. I've researched parts that will fit, and I've got a full video coming on my Mondeo, and I'll show you the size of the brakes that I'm putting on that in a minute. It is going to be unbelievable. Well, if you'll have no problem then, Joe. Just take your time. Make sure you get the full kit, get the guides, get everything. Don't just buy the chain. Buy the full kit because you will not it will be better for you in the long run. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find these calipers and I'm going to show you what I'm putting on them. I've got them, and before I show you them, essentially what I'm doing is the kit that I'm going to put on my car, it's cost maybe around 550 sterling. So around 550, which you might say, yes, it's still a lot of money, and granted, it is a lot of money. I've been buying bits over the last few months. I haven't bought it all together. But for this brake kit that I'm doing, you would pay, if you was to buy it from, let's say, a retail place, you'd be paying over $3.5 grand for this kit. So I'm essentially saving $3 grand. So however you look about it, that's brilliant. Are you ready? Here we go. Boom! Look at them. That's what I'm putting on my car. 4-pod Brimbos, proper Brimbos. These things are going on my car, my Mondeo, because the Mondeo brakes are crap. And on the 90 horsepower one, mine's the ST, which is 155, but we've now mapped it and it's up to over 230 brake. And the brakes never work properly on the 90 horsepower one, and they certainly don't work properly when you go to 230 horsepower, where these things will put you through the window. Now, these didn't come off a Ford. I'll explain everything in the video, but these are what I'm putting on my car. It sounds like it gets old set of leads. What do you mean leads? HT leads, is it? I got Simon Black. Gasket 6. Have you ever done head gasket or timing chain on a V6? Which V6? We don't really get a lot of V6s here. I've done them on some of the older, you know, the old school V8s and stuff, but I just keep it standard calipers on. Yeah, well, like I said, just bear in mind, there's nothing wrong with grooved and drilled discs, and there's nothing wrong with green stuff pads, yellow stuff pads, red stuff pads, whatever. But don't necessarily go, if you've got little brakes, don't necessarily go for the drilled ones. Just go for the grooved ones, because you will lose a lot of brakes, because you got to remember all them little holes that are drilled through, and that's brake friction you're missing. So if you've got really big discs, you can actually get away with it. If you've got small little discs, you can't get away with it. Keep standing up. Do you have? I personally would buy the cam, especially on something like that, because you can buy kits now on eBay very, very cheap, and they do wonders. You know, they hold everything. You take the cam cover off, you can hold the cams and stuff. What the hell is on my nose, man? They hold everything in place. Yeah, buy the locking kit. Lexus calipers, no, they're not Lexus calipers. Porsche calipers, no, they're not Porsche calipers, but you're getting closer Porsche than Lexus. I'm going to get stuff like Brimbos. Yeah, Brimbos are good. I'm back. I actually brought it down. What did you buy? Yeah, I mean, my Transit with the Cosworth engine in has some serious brakes as well, which is fantastic. And again, but that's 400 horsepower with anti-lag, so you need good brakes. This is what people forget to do when they soup up the car and they get the car chipped. It's all well and good getting your car chipped, We can actually chip your car now. So if you're in Ireland and want your car chipped, come to me. It's all well and good getting your car chipped, but if you can't stop, it's pointless. You know, if you don't have the right tires and brakes for your car, then there's no point. You know, it's pointless, because you need to be able to get the power down, and you need to be able to stop. Having all the power in the world is useless if you can't use it. Any chance of getting some old LEDs off? LEDs. Oh, sorry. Did I say that wrong? Did I say leads? LEDs. Well, I'm only going to change them once they're gone, so it's going to be kind of pointless there. Bentley, no, they're not Bentley. Brimbos are the best. They're certainly up there. I wouldn't say they're the best. They're one of the best. BMW brakes first, then suspension, then power. Well, if you really want to be technical, I would, yeah, actually, sorry, yeah, that's right, yeah, brakes. Well, brakes, tires, I would say brakes, tires, suspension, then power. That's what I would say. Because again, you can have big brakes. If you've got cheap, shitty tires on, then again, it's pointless, because you're not going to be able to put the power down. And even if you've got good brakes, when you try and stop them with crappy tires, you're not going to go anywhere. Well, you're not going to stop. So again, brakes, tires, suspension, then power. That's what I would say. What's wrong with the old BMW? What's wrong with old BMW? What's wrong with old BMWs? What do you mean? Chip my transit. Yeah, no worries. What sort of transit you got? We can chip, I think it's a 2007 transit. We can put from 90 horsepower, we can put up to 190. But bear in mind, if we do that, which I've done it on a few, your clutch isn't going to be safe. It's not. It's called what's not clutch safe. So you will burn out your clutch quite quickly. We can put up to 140 horsepower, which you got a clutch safe. If you want to go to 190, for example, this is an example, you need to upgrade your clutch to the heavier clutch. That's another problem. That's another thing we need to mention. So brakes, tires, clutch, suspension, then power. This is the problem. When you start doing bits to your car, it's a never-ending thing. You're always constantly adding to it. So you do your brakes, you do your tires, you do your suspension, then you do poly mount bushings because the standard bushings are too much flex in it. And it's a never-ending process, people. It is just, it's fun, but it's a kind of a money pit. You'll end up like Rob if you. I'll end up like Bob if you can't stop. Bob. 2008. Yeah, we can do a lot with that engine. That's the 2.2 diesel. Yeah, we can do an awful lot with that. We can put that up to 190. But if you go to 190, you're going to need the bigger clutch in, not the 90 horsepower clutch. Well, that also depends on what horsepower you've got in there. What kind of horsepower on a 1400? The non-turbos, they're not that great. They're between 15, anywhere from 10 to 20%, in and around there. 15% normally on a non-turbo engine. There's not a lot you can really do with them. You know, just by a chip. The turbo engines you can do an awful lot more with. Done suspension, brakes, polys, yeah. Clutch next. Fiat Brembo calipers. No, they're not Fiat. I'm all in for something. Anyone can go fast. One last question. Brake fluid is .6 a good replacement for 4? If you're gonna go for replacement fluid, I would go to 5.1. 5.1 is kind of the best you're going to get, you know, for a normal road car. If you want to go higher, then you need to go for the stuff I'm running in that, but it's ridiculously expensive, so there's no point. There's no point. So yeah, 5.1 is what I suggest you run. And you can actually, you know, you don't have to drain the system to use 5.1. I personally would drain the system. You don't have to. 85 horsepower. Yeah, we can put that up to basically over to 190 or anywhere in between to what you want. But the 190, you know, bear in mind, clutch, brakes, tires, I'm not going to be able for that. Yeah, 5.1 is definitely better, 100%. .6 is military. No, 5.1 I think is military. 5.1, essentially, it's harder to get the water in. 5.1 is military. The stuff I've got for my racing car, it's just a higher boiling point. That's essentially the difference. It's a higher boiling point. Get it out. Well, that's it, people. I think we're going to call it for tonight because I need to get some grub. As you can see, I'm wasting away. Yeah. What was your first car? My first car was a Ford Escort, 1991. Ford Escort Encore. Pushrod engine. Oh, baby. Pushrod engine, the noise out of it. Beautiful. And I've loved Fords ever since. Hi, Leon. Good to see you back. Nice to you. Yeah, I want to share other bits to upgrade if I remap my Toyota Yaris. Yeah, well, again, it depends what you want to go to. Like we were saying, you know, you're going to have to be able to stop. You're going to have to be able to accelerate and stop. So brakes, tires, and clutch. Brakes, tires, and clutch really is what you really need to be looking at if you're going at a really high horsepower. Yeah, and going. Would you have to upgrade my chain? No, you don't have to do anything like that. Just use good oil. Chain will be fine. Oh, my nose. See you later, Steve, Terry. Yeah, that's it, everybody. Look, hope it helped my fucking nose. God. So that's it, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the rant about the cyclist too. Shame there's no cyclist on here. That would have been nice to talk to a cyclist. I really want to talk to a fucking cyclist. So that's it, everybody. See you later. Have a good one. All the usual, you know, blah, 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 blah. Any questions, contact me through the usual, you know, the usual stuff. And there we go, people. See you later. Sorted.